SoMe is a social media site that pays creators for their content. So with me is the an influencer, the head of influencer partnerships, Brad Frank, and then also Ashwin Soma, who is a operations manager at Cardstarter. So let's start with you, Ashwin. Just explain what Cardstarter is and how it fits into the whole SoMe business model.
Absolutely. So Cardstarter is essentially the first decentralized launchpad for Cardano. And that's kind of a mouthful, but really what it does is it helps projects that are up and coming, especially when it comes to blockchain technology. And it makes sure that it can get them a good community to bootstrap their project as it's starting out. It makes sure that it can get the appropriate raise and the funds that it needs and the connections that it needs in the space to succeed. Now, what's great about SoMe, to segue into them, is they already have a lot of this done. The benefit there is we're just really helping them kind of perfect and tweak a little bit of their model to make sure that they have the best foot forward, but they already have a wonderful project. So I'd let Brad take it away.
Okay, so let's talk to Brad. So tell me a little bit about where SoMe is. I've talked to some of the influencers on there in the past. How does that stand, and what are you doing to try to kind of build those influencer partnerships and help them grow?
Sure. Thank you, Jane. Well, as you know, SoMe, we're at the culmination of approximately 8 years of development, with the last 2 in beta, which has been extremely successful. In terms of onboarding influencers, this process has really required us to help influencers unlearn what they know about social media to a degree. As you know, the model is social media redefined, privatization, monetization of your content, things of that nature. And, the challenge is always articulating to a influencer culture that has kind of been bred and born on the point, click, pay for click environment. And this is much, much, much more. I mean, by this platform combining elements of mainstream social media and blockchain, we've actually evolved into a whole lot more than we had anticipated. And not only, are we selling this to the influencer as a game-changing platform that supports social media activity and content, but also looking at it as an ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And one of the driving forces is that, as we had talked about earlier, Jane, there's definitely a new normal now. And for those people that consider themselves influencers, whether they're a micro influencer, a major macro influencer, so on and so forth, with, millions or tens of millions of followers, they always have to be ahead of the curve, because that's, how they make their money. Being able to find new ways and innovative ways to monetize their brand. Well, we found that we've been picking up a great deal our trajectory is really, really in a good place right now. And we've been, the responses to SoMe have been extremely positive. From my perspective, the challenge and what myself and Kelly Plonzo are tasked with is really educating the influencer and really kind of unveiling to them a platform that produces multiple streams of revenue and monetization for them.
Very interesting. So Ashwin, talk a little bit about the IDO process. First of all, what is IDO and what is the process that SoMe is going through with you, right?
Absolutely. So, people all know what an IPO is, I'd like to think. And then in 2017, we have ICOs, and it's essentially an initial decentralized exchange offering. So as we evolve, we realize that it's not just the big boys and girls in Wall Street that, get to invest in these projects as they're exciting. We want it to be as decentralized as possible, meaning everyone, retail investors, folks at home on their smartphones, they should be able to invest in exciting projects such as, for example, SoMe, a social media platform that rewards influencers and rewards users, and make sure that that advertising revenue actually goes to the user and the influencer as opposed to the company itself. I mean, projects like that make a lot of sense, and why should that not be something that everyone has the ability to invest in? So that's essentially what an IDO is. It's ensuring that folks that are interested in such projects can actually invest early on. Obviously, the biggest thing for us is we make sure that we are completely 100% compliant with SEC regulation to make sure that all the folks that are involved are doing so in a manner that's know your customer, or KYC, and that they're all upfront, and that everything is by the book, which kind of can create some red tape, but we're more than happy to do that because that's really what we believe in. And it makes sure that everyone can participate in exciting projects like SoMe in a safe, but also an equitable manner. So it's not just folks that have connections, but rather anyone in the space that can pick up a smartphone. Yeah. And that's what we, aim to do.
And Brad, I mean, that's a key part of SoMe, and even blockchain in general, is allowing people to participate more in the financial system than what we have seen in the past. So is that SoMe's long-term vision? I mean, I know it is, but can you go into a little more detail about that?
Sure. One of the things that, and again, partnerships with companies such as Oshawan's are vital in moving us to the next level, to be able to truly be a global force in the grand scheme of things. And also, quite frankly, it provides us with an opportunity for lessons learned. When you think about other social media platforms that first started off, they didn't have the benefit of having done it before, so, you had terms like viral that were coined at that point in time. Most people had never heard viral before. They didn't know what that meant, aside from, the symptoms of a cough and a cold or what have you. So, moving forward, going back to your question, one of the things that personally I really, really love about the platform is that because of the way that this platform has been constructed by Christopher, it almost creates an economy and a kind of a culture that really frowns on and penalizes actually bad behavior. It's to everybody's interest to display good behavior on this platform. And then another thing, when you look at influencer participation, this platform allows the influencer to give back. So, now you have a situation where the casual user, Brad Q Public is using this platform and they like content, they follow content, from some of their internet influencers. They have the opportunity to monetize that interaction, as well as the influencer making money on that interaction. So when the influencer starts looking at the metrics that are, based upon the way this platform is structured, they have the opportunity to make a heck of a lot more money than they currently are with some of the old systems that are, pay-per-click and things of that nature, where there's kind of a virtual ceiling as to what they can earn.
Thank you so much. It's great to get an update from SoMe and see things progressing well. So thank you, Ashwin, and also Brad, for joining us.
Thank you,
for
James.